Yes, this video is monetized. I will be monetizing the poop out of it because I want it to make as much money as possible, because every cent that this video makes will be donated to organizations that are helping the Black Lives Matter movement. The organizations that I'm donating to are linked below. There is also links that you will see that are there to help you find petitions that you can sign, to help you find phone numbers to text and call your representatives, to find emails for you guys to send emails to your representatives, information about voting, information about protests around you and how to protect yourself. But I'm going to talk about Blackout Tuesday real quick. People are confused as to what it is. It's a day not to post anything personal and only to post things that have to do with the movement. This is not a time for silence. This is a time for solidarity. Black people have been fighting for far too long in this country, and it's time for us to step up and fight with them. We can't let this movement die. We can't move on because we got bored or we got tired or like, oh, it's fine, it's over. Like, we get it. That's privileged. Now, I don't want this video to get demonetized, therefore I will not be showing anything graphic, I will not be using crude language, and I will not be talking about politics, because this isn't a political issue, this is a human rights issue. You may have seen that a lot, I know I'm reiterating it, but maybe one person didn't see that or understand it. So let me explain. This is not the right versus the left. This is what's right versus what's wrong. This is not about white people versus black people. This is everyone versus racism. Now, if you think I'm doing this to get likes, views, clouts up my channel, I don't know how to convince you that that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to use my resources that I have to help. I have a voice, a good sized platform, voting rights, and money. So that's what I'm going to use. And I know there are maybe younger people who are in households who the household doesn't agree with this movement, but the individual might, and they don't have a way to, or they feel they don't have a way to get involved or help. That's what this video is for. Watch it, watch the ads, click it. The money is going to the right place. Now, because this video has to get to 10 minutes long so I can put as many ads on it as possible, I'm going to read inspirational quotes, memes, pictures, and art that I've seen on the internet that I thought was either inspirational or educational. Again, nothing will be graphic, and I will try and blur out any cuss words, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta cuss to get your point across, and I understand. Here's an example of how white privilege sounds. You keep saying, it's horrible that an innocent black man was killed, but destroying property has to stop. Try saying, it's horrible that property is being destroyed, but killing innocent black men has to stop. You're prioritizing the wrong part. Privilege is when you think something is not a problem because you aren't affected personally. How white people can make themselves the most useful right now. Redistributing money and resources to black people. Physically shielding black people from the police at any protest or gathering. For far too many Americans, it's easier to mourn the destruction of a series of chain stores owned and operated by millionaires than the death of a black American. A stolen lamp is worthy of a kind of empathy that a black person could only dream of. If it is difficult for you to understand why people resort to violence, it probably means that your privilege has protected you from being put in a situation where you feel you have no other choice. If you're not sure how to respond, listen. If you're not sure what to read, research. If you're not sure what to do, donate. Not sure becomes not my problem. It is not enough to be not sure when racism is still taking lives. They'd rather let the nation burn than arrest 3 of their own. Let that sink in. If you're tired of hearing about racism, imagine how tired some people are of experiencing it. Dear non-black friends, I'm paying attention to your silence. I've also seen your silence is deafening. The racist mind will not be changed by intellectual reasoning. We've seen that already. Let our focus be instead on changing the structural system that protects them, so they can no longer be unafraid to be openly racist. They couldn't even stop doing police brutality at the police brutality protest. Jesus in Luke 15, 100 sheep, but 1 goes missing. Jesus leaves the 99 and goes after the 1. The 99 say, but what about us? Don't we matter? Of course the 99 still matter, but they're not the ones in danger. The 1 is. These are numbers to call in case of unlawful arrests at protests in these cities. If you live in one of these cities, screenshot. If you're planning to go to a protest, you may unlawfully get arrested. If you're not angry, you're not paying attention. Resistance is not a 1-lane highway. Maybe your lane is protesting. Maybe your lane is organizing. Maybe your lane is counseling. Maybe your lane is art activism. Maybe your lane is surviving the day. Do not feel guilty for not occupying every lane. We need all of them. Do something. Anything. Non-black people must do better. To learn is to listen. Keep in mind that black people are not obligated to teach us how to care for them. Look into your honest self, your discomfort, your learned anti-blackness, and your family history. Call your racist family members out. Move beyond the internet to show your outrage and grief. Take action and do not remain complicit. Remember that Black communities have supported and taught every radical movement in history. It has long been our time to play our part in destroying white supremacy. People really went from making me stay at home is tyranny to there's a curfew, police can do what they want with you if you're outside in less than 1 week. I said I wouldn't show disturbing images, but these are just images of Philadelphia when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. But these were just some young kids that maybe got a little too crazy. I just wanted to just show this about the media. The National Review, just like what? Colin Kaepernick should drop the silly national anthem protests and get to work. And then they said, protesting works, rioting doesn't, when they were the same ones that told Colin Kaepernick to stop protesting. This is a little sexual explicit, but you know what? I thought it made a good point. Systematic racism, riots and looting, police getting away with murder, racially disproportionate prison populations, conservatives zooming in on the riots and looting. The police are doing police brutality live on camera at the police brutality protest, and much of white America still doesn't believe it. Watch what media you are looking at. Mainstream media puts out what's gonna get them the most views and most clicks. Make sure you're looking at everything, not just what would get most people's attention. You know how wrong you gotta be for witches and Amish to be on the same side? This is not a political issue, this is a human rights issue. This is systematic racism and oppression at the hands of law enforcement in our country. We want justice and we want change. It shouldn't have happened once and it should never happen again. This is not a discussion. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. It's a privilege to learn about racism instead of experiencing it your whole life. Racism is so American that when you protest it, people think you are protesting America.